Good morning, boys and girls. It is day 100, the century mark. Yay! Yay for me! It's been a journey. Been some good times, been some bad times. We're actually in a really good spot right now. My energy levels are incredible. My sleep's good. My blood sugar's dropping. Matter of fact, this morning I woke up at 102. That's not the lowest that it's been in the morning, but it's consistently lowering the average. So that's good. I'm really stoked about that. We are not doing any major changes with the diet right now. We're just kind of going along so-so. I was hoping to get to drop my insulin today, but I went ahead and just left it the way it was. Probably going to go ahead and leave it that way for the rest of the week, and maybe next Monday drop it. But anyway, that's just kind of an update. That's not what this video is about. Today I want to talk a little bit about diabetic neuropathy, specifically neuropathy of the feet. If you don't know what that is, well, let's see if I can give a layman's definition here. Neuropathy of the feet, or neuropathy in general, is when you run a very high blood sugar level for extended periods of time, you end up with nerve damage, muscle damage. And that's what we're talking about. And it'll kind of give itself away to you. You'll kind of know it because you'll have numbness, sharp pains, burning, something like that. And so that's kind of where it is. And what I'm going to do is I'll tell you a little bit about my story, hopefully really quick, and then we'll talk about how I'm dealing with it and the things I'm doing to fight it. Well, first of all, a couple years ago, I realized that I had my left big toe was numb. It had been numb for a few days. And I researched a little. It didn't take very long, and it kind of dawned on me what this was. And so, you know, I became a good diabetic really fast, and it went away, sort of. And then I'd kind of slip a little bit and then come back, and then I'd become a good diabetic. And this went on for a couple years, back and forth, back and forth. Last summer, I was working out in one of the goat paddocks, and I stepped on a stop about the size of your thumb. Came up through my shoe, didn't break the shoe, didn't break skin or nothing like that. Boy, I jumped back though, it hurt. But I didn't think nothing about it, I just kept working. End of the day, I was kicked back in my chair, relaxing. When it got time to get up and go to bed, man, it freaking hurt. I mean, it hurt. I limped around for weeks trying to get this thing to heal, and it just wouldn't. Matter of fact, 6 months later, I'm still dealing with it on and off. It would hurt for a while, and then it would go away, and it would hurt for a while. I'd elevate it or something, and we were rubbing it, and I was trying to massage it a little bit. It seemed to help, but no, not really. Anyway, we kept going, and about the 1st of December or so, I really realized that I had a problem. I mean, I knew that I had caused some muscle damage, maybe cracked a bone or something up in there, but there's nerve damage up in there. And I had been, well, let me say this. Last year, I spent almost all of 23 off and on studying the carnivore diet, the people's blood work that were on it, what it was doing to their diabetes, if they had it, weight loss, all of this kind of information, gathering all this stuff up. And so I decided that in December that, okay, it's time for me to get this under control before there's damage in there that I just can't, that I can't reverse, that I can't do anything to. And so we started, that's why we started Carnivore at the first of the year. Well, a few weeks ago, my foot really wasn't getting better. I mean, wasn't getting worse. It was staying about the same. But then it finally dawned on me that this wasn't so much the injury that had occurred last summer, that this was something different. My neuropathy was moving around, and the pads of my feet were having issue. And I was feeling sharp pains in my feet. I was even having some restless legs, some leg cramping. And so I kind of doubled down on my research. I figured out what was going on. If you're wondering what that feels like, the pads of your feet, when they get bad, it doesn't really hurt, or mine don't, but it feels like I'm walking on a blister. If that makes sense. It's like you're walking on water. It's freaking weird. It's very disconcerting. And the sharp pains in my feet, if you're curious about those, it literally feels like somebody is sticking a needle in the sides of my feet. And I'm not exaggerating at all. There's times that it would wake me up in the middle of the night and I'd jump up out of bed. It was bad. Now, I mentioned earlier about the burning. I've never had any burning. Thank goodness, that's one of the things that I just have never had to deal with. So I'm thankful for that. But anyway, we began to talk about this. I began to put a game plan together. I was massaging my feet, taking care of that. I've got some stuff that I put on my feet to keep them healthy. It's a honey-based cuticle cream, actually, is what it is. It's out of Alabama. My buddy Greg Bixler down there, he's gotten that for me. I'm going to put a link in the description of that stuff. It is amazing. I cannot stress enough. I use their soap. I use their regenerative cream. I use their cuticle cream. Everything that they've got is just simply amazing. It is the absolute best antibiotic cream that I've ever seen in my life, and it's not an antibiotic cream. But I put it on any scratches or anything like that, any sores, and they just heal up. And as a diabetic, that is a big stinking thing. You gotta stay on top of that stuff. So, real thankful for that. I massage that stuff in every night. Now, the massage isn't just to get that stuff in, but it's just to move blood around. And I do the whole feet in between the toes. I really try to work that hard. That really didn't do any good. And so what I did is I called Ariel over at Competitor's Edge. If you know Ariel, or if you know anything about her, she's got a lot of knowledge when it comes to nerve damage. She had an accident a couple years ago, broke her back in a gym accident. Once that happened, we kind of encircled her, trying to help take care of her. Me and her, we ended up talking a lot, especially once she kind of got back up on her feet. She began to try to deal with her nerve damage now. And so it allowed me to bounce a lot of things, throw ideas at her, especially about her training, and really challenging her. Well, now that I'm dealing with this, the things that I learned there have really been beneficial. But anyway, what I did was I began to throw some things off of her, and the first thing she wanted me to do is, or what she was concerned with, is she thought maybe my magnesium might be low. Well, it just so happens that she actually carries a liquid magnesium cream, and my wife has that. She uses that. And so we began to put that on my calves, and the first night that made a difference. The restless leg almost completely went away, even helped some of the pain, and I just slept better. It was really good. So that helped a lot. Also, she had another really super good idea, and she had me take a ball, and what I've got is just a round, just one of those practice softballs, and I'll drop that down in the floor at night, and I'll roll my foot on on the sides and the inside, outside, the pad of my foot, the heel, the insole, everything around my toes. It hurts, I can tell you. But what we're doing there is we're kind of after that hurt. We're after that sensation of pain. And you might ask me why. I want to challenge them. You know, if I decided that I wanted to squat 800 pounds again, I don't know. But if I did, I would begin to put bigger and bigger weight on my back. I would challenge my body. And my body would answer. And that's kind of the premise that we're going with here. We want to challenge our body. We want to challenge these nerves. We want to let them know that where they're at is not acceptable and it's time to move forward. And so that's what that's about. And I can tell you it's already beginning to work. Also, one of the other things that I do is I've got one of the lava stones in the shower. And now I've always kept my feet real clean, moisturized. The feet thing freaks me out, so I don't want to lose feet. So I take good care of them. I always have. But now I kind of look at that a little bit different. As I'm using the stone, I use it all over, not just on the dry spots. Again, for that sensation, for the pain, it's almost like a tickle pain. Man, sometimes it gets pretty aggressive in there. But no, I don't do it hard enough that I bring blood or something like that, or that I even break the skin. It's more, like I said, of a tickle sensation that hurts. So, and that seems to be helping. But anyway, we go through all of those. Those are the things that I'm doing right now. If you want to know how bad this can get, let me get your attention. I've got a super good friend. We were best friends in high school. We still spend time together when we can. He's been a diabetic longer than me. And they've taken half of one of his feet, a big toe off the other. Got another guy graduated. They took both of his feet. And he's died now. I can tell you that this is important. This is something you've got to get under control. Now, you can do all of the things that I said, and there's some other things you can do. There's some things you can add to your diet that'll help strengthen the nerves and stuff. But there's one thing that is absolutely imperative. You must do this. You have to get your blood sugar under control. You can leave your blood sugar high and do all those things, and it'll do absolutely nothing. You have to get your blood sugar under control. And I'm not talking about adding more insulin. I'm not talking about adding more metformin. Please don't do that. That's my uneducated opinion. And I can tell you why. But what you have to do is you have to eliminate carbohydrates, sugar out of your system. You have to get it as low as you can so that your body can adjust. You have to put yourself in a position to where you can heal. Now, there's somebody out there that's going to say, now Dave, you must have glucose for brain function. You just have to. Well, that's bullcrap. Bad roads, I guess. That really is bullcrap. You see, if I haven't had any glucose, glycogen, any kind of sugar at all for this entire year. My blood sugar, if I'm not careful, will still be over 200. Well, how in the world does that happen? Well, that happens because your liver drops glycogen or glucose into your bloodstream just for that reason. So if you've got a healthy liver, you're okay. When does that happen? It happens lots of times. That's a fight or flight response. If you're fasting for more than 12 hours, it's going to drop oxygen into your blood. So that's a lot of times. It used to really weird me out. I could get up in 3 or 4 in the morning, my blood sugar would be real low, and then I would check it again at 7 o'clock in the morning, having not eaten anything, and it'd be high. It didn't make no sense. That's why. But you can do those things, and it'll put your body in a position to where you can heal it. Now, let me say a couple of things, especially if you're just getting into this. I'm kind of assuming that if you're watching this, that maybe you're just curious. Maybe you've got a crap diet. You're just curious to know what all of this talk about diabetes and pre-diabetes is. Maybe that's it. Maybe you are a pre-diabetic and you're kind of looking to see what's in front of you. And maybe you're a diabetic, but none of this has hit you in the face yet. Well, what I'm hoping that scared the crap out of me, because it kind of does me. It freaks me out. That's the reason I'm going to all this trouble. That's the reason I'm documenting all of this stuff. So, if you fall into one of those categories, it's really time that you get yourself under control. Now, you can do that a lot of different ways. I hate to say this, but you do need to go to your doctor. You need to get your A1C checked, and you need to talk to him. Now, I am not a doctor. I'm just some country guy who's got it, tried to inform himself, and now he's documenting this on YouTube and trying to encourage you. But now, that being said, if your doctor just wants to throw a bunch of pills at you, you toss him to the side and you go get you another one. I can tell you that I listened to my first doctor, older gentleman, real nice. I've been with him for years and years. He wanted me to start this diet, and I know enough about diet from being in the fitness industry that didn't make no sense at all. I mean, I'm not doing this. I wouldn't do this for any reason at all. And so I went and talked to a professional, and I did. I dropped him. And I want you to know that I went to 2 other doctors, one of which was supposed to be an expert on diabetes, and I walked out of their office. That's just that. Because they were idiots. I'll just tell you. Finally, my wife encouraged me to go see Jessica McNeese. She's a nurse practitioner in Russellville, where I'm from. She actually listened to me. She actually listens to me every time I go in. She's concerned with what I'm going through. But more than that, when I talk about changing this or changing that on my diet, she listens to that as well. It's not about giving me a pill. Matter of fact, she doesn't like giving me anything. She gives me what I asked for and nothing more. And that's what you've got to find. You've got to find a doctor or a nurse practitioner or somebody that can help you, that will talk you through, that is trying to be a healer. See, I'm not interested in a doctor. Doctors are a dime a dozen. They're really good at writing prescriptions. If I had a broken elbow, broken arm, okay, I'm going to go see a doctor. But for general health concerns, my nurse practitioner knows more than any doctor I've sat down and had a conversation with. So, now I'm not saying they're all like that, so don't y'all go and quote me and say that I hate all doctors. That's bullcrap too. What I'm telling you is that those people work for you. And so when you stumble across one that's an idiot, that's not about healing you, that's more about giving you pills and just getting their quota and moving on, you wad them up like a piece of paper and throw them in the garbage. Move on. Go find you one that cares. Go find you one that'll help you to really defeat this problem. One that cares for you and loves you. I'm very thankful for Jessica. She really takes good care of us. So, that being said, there's lots of stuff like that I could continue to keep preaching. I'm not going to. I'm sure we're going to cover most of it in different videos. My goal today is to encourage you. I want you to get better. I want you to get off your butt. I want you to challenge yourself to make yourself better. I want you to get in control of this diet. Move forward, people. Let's go. It's time to go. It's time to take this in our own hands. Deal with your diet yourself. Start researching. If you got questions, ask. I'm not going to do your research for you. If you're here to do that, this is the wrong place for you. I want to encourage you. I want to help you. But a lot of this you just need to do yourself. You need to be an informed person. And you can do that. You can do that right here on Instagram. Or not on it. Well, you can do it on Instagram too. But you can do that right here on YouTube. There's lots of information on here from some just brilliant people. So find your information, start gathering it, learn. If you've chosen a diet already, I'd really be curious to know what those are. Tell me in the comments, what diet are you on? What do you like about it? What do you don't like about it? How is it going? Not just are you losing weight, but how is it going? How is your blood sugar doing? How do you feel? Is your energy levels up or are they down? Is your mental cognizant? Are you sharper? Or do you feel dumb, slow? You know, how do you feel? If you are a diabetic, tell me what your blood sugar was this morning. I really would like to know. I'd like to compare myself, see where I line up. And for sure, if you're just one of these people that periodically check your blood sugar, absolutely tell me what yours is. I'd love to know. And just to answer another little question, somebody asked me if I thought how often should just normal people have their blood sugar checked. I think probably everybody, probably once a month, should probably check it. It's pretty easy to keep up with it. You'll kind of know if you begin to drift high. Because you don't want to become a pre-diabetic or a diabetic. You want to try to get that stuff as early as you can. So leave me a comment, like the video, go and subscribe if you haven't. Guys, I love you. If you need anything, let me know. Otherwise, we will see you in the next one.